The Oklahoma City Thunder make a trade. What could this mean? And who are some top second round targets?
You are Locked On Thunder, your daily Oklahoma City Thunder podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's get it going on the Locked On Thunder podcast, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Listen, today's show is a bonus pod because we've already done our podcast recapping the first round. But before the second round kicks off, I wanted to hop on and give some potential day two targets. The Thunder have already made a trade, sending Lindy Waters to the Golden State Warriors in favor of pick 52. This gives the Thunder their one and so far only second round pick. The Thunder are still trying to take this pick and move up the draft board. This episode will be short and sweet because we're up against the second round starting at 3 o'clock Central Time. And I want to get you guys this out there so you can digest it a little bit. But the Thunder will go into the second round, and we'll talk about the Lindy aspect of things on the actual large show, on Friday, where we're going to talk about the second round and talk about the draft holistically and what it means for the Thunder, what ripple effects there are for Oklahoma City. But as a quick overview, the Thunder were always likely to decline Lindy Waters' option. They move him to Golden State, who seems like they're going to pick up his option and retain him onto their roster, according to Slater of The Athletic. The Thunder get a second round pick, and at the very least, bare bones minimum, Oklahoma City, whenever you look at this team, they're going to be able to replace Olivier Sarr. So Olivier Sarr is a two-way big man who, of course, as a 57-win team, you're not relying on your two ways all that often, but the Thunder are not going to let an asset go to waste. So at 52, the Thunder can ensure they get their guy on a two-way pack to replace Sarr because he's not coming back next year as he popped his Achilles at the end of the season. So he's out for the entire year. The Thunder are a place where, while some agents do prefer to go undrafted at that stage, the Thunder are a team that I think that people would be comfortable with having their player go to them, given their infrastructure of development. So that's if they can't move up at all, and if they just stay at 52. If they do climb up, then you start to get into what we commonly refer to as a fake first round deal, where it's going to be labeled as a multi-year deal, but there's options and non-guarantees that allow Oklahoma City to pull out of the deal and terminate it early if things aren't going up to par. So that's all you need to know really about the second round in terms of like structurally. Who are the Thunder going to target? I want to caution you about the second round. A lot of you are going to want the Thunder to go get a big, no matter where they select, whether it's at pick 1 or pick 58. You want them to draft a big man. There's a good chance they're not going to draft the big man because the odds of a second round big man, filling the gaps of what the Thunder need in their front court rotation are a little slim. Now, if they get all the way up and there's still some quality guys. Tyler Smith, I think, is a quality big, depending on how you view how much time he needs to still develop his game. Kyle Popowski is a perfectly average big man and a perfectly average backup big that fell to the second round. I think that Popowski will go within the top 5 picks of the second round. Can you get from 52 all the way to the top 5 of the second round? Probably unlikely. But past those two guys, you're looking at Jonathan Mongbo, who the organization really likes and has ties to. I love Jonathan Mongbo. I have a first-round grade on him. I have him at 19 on my big board. This would be awesome. It would not be the traditional big that a lot of you clamor for. So the odds say that the Thunder will not be selecting a big man here because there's just not that many available and not that many that are like talented enough. And also, no matter who they select, the odds are that this guy plays in the G League nearly exclusively, and you're just kind of biding time in case of an injury. Now, beyond the names that we've already mentioned, Comanche's a really good project center who the Thunder could take. I really like PJ Hall from Clemson, who fits the Thunder style. That would be a name I would look at. And they did bring in Quentin Post for a known draft workout as a center and a really big center at that. Maybe he could be a change of pace big man. But I would caution you that, like, big man or not, even if they do draft the center, this is not the answer. This is not the answer to the front court problems. Those answers have to be filled this weekend and this upcoming week as the offseason kicks off with free agency and trades. So right now, you're looking to get the best available player. And I think that there's some really, really talented options out there. It comes down to how teams value them. I love Jonathan Mogbo as this guy that can do everything. A member of the second team All Juice team. He has an unbelievable motor, an unbelievable edge to his game. He can pass. He can play it on the floor. He can finish at the rim. The only thing he can't really do is shoot. And I do believe that he has a smidgen of more shooting upside than what most people give him credit for, which we'll talk about if the Thunder end up drafting him. I also really like Johnny Furphy. I think that the value in the second round is something that if you're so fortunate to be able to move up and get him, it'd be great. It'd be great as a guy who can shoot and a movement shooter. I think that he has good passing chops, and I think that the Thunder are uniquely positioned to be able to hide him defensively. I also really like Tyler Smith as this modern big man. It's a floor spacing big who the Thunder like. I would say, though, Tyler Smith is closer to Jay Will than like a true center upgrade. And at that point, Jay Will's a better shooter and a better passer. So you'd probably just stick with Jay Will, because I think that the defensive drop off from Tyler Smith to Jay Will is negligible, especially if Jay Will continues to get better athletically. And then Harrison Ingram, I think, is the quintessential Thunder player. Like, this guy is a versatile defender who can make his butt off with size, and he can shoot. So especially if they stay at that 52 range, I would look at Harrison Ingram. So those are some names for you to watch here in the second round. We'll be back to recap it all after the second round is over.